Welcome back. This is lesson 1, lecture 2 of digital marketing in a digital world. I'm your instructor, Jennifer Neeley. In this lecture, we're going to cover types of digital marketing. As I've explained, each of these topics are covered in one of the lectures here in this module. They're shorter, so you can take them in a little bit better, hopefully giving you more ability to take in the information. And you can repeat watch them as much as you need to get the hang of that particular topic. So let's get into the types of digital marketing we're talking about this term. So digital marketing encompasses a wide range of approaches from website marketing and search engine optimization, SEO, to smart environment marketing, email marketing, and social media engagement. Each type offers unique opportunities to reach and engage consumers in different ways. So what are these different ways? Well, here in this example in your textbook, you'll find the exhibit 1-2 shows you and goes into even more explanation than we have time for here, the options for conducting digital marketing. There's so many of them. They're not, there's probably more than we can even cover in the textbook. But for the purposes of this course, I wanted to show you the main types and a little bit outside the box, a little bit of the future too. So think about website marketing, your search engine optimization and search engine marketing. So that's SEO and SEM, your smart environment marketing. And if you don't know what that is or not familiar with that term, Internet of Things, IoT, I'll get into what that is in a bit. Mobile marketing, which is not just text marketing, it goes a bit beyond. Email marketing, and then of course, social media and community marketing. And all of those circle along with some other things like Metaverse marketing, Apple's digital pro headset, any kind of experiential piece of marketing as technology evolves. So we know email marketing. It's one of the oldies but goodies. If we remember from lesson 1, lecture 1, it was one of the originals that goes back to the 1970s. It involves sending carefully crafted emails to pertinent audiences, and it may include promotions, new products, new services, newsletters, and messages intended to maintain regular connections with customers. So you can see this email from Budget Rent-A-Car. It promotes a specific benefit available to consumers for a limited time. Those are key concepts. And you want to try to capture those in a subject line. So not surprisingly, the subject line is still time. Book by 9/5 for carcation savings. And I am not a big fan of all caps in a subject line, but I think if you use them sparingly, and it truly is the maybe first and last time you're going to do it in a campaign, it's not the worst thing to do. Same with exclamation points or even emojis. Use them, with caution, and just be thoughtful about the full amount of emails that folks are getting and how much they might be tired of told, this is the last chance. No, this is the last. No, this is the very last chance. Think through what that email number of emails, the volume of emails is going to look like, and how much that has. You never want to be afraid really of annoying the end consumer, but we also don't want unsubscribes. Once somebody has unsubscribed in the United States, we're subject to the ICANN Spam Act, and it's very difficult to get them, most of the time with most email marketing software, to opt back in super easily. Sometimes you need to get things in writing. So it's always easier to try to err on the side of caution and give people that unsubscribe option, but also give them the option to manage the amount of email they're getting from you, change their email address. I mean, how many times have you put your work email when you meant your home email, if you use 2 different email addresses, et cetera? So you want to make sure that the email is going to the right place and people have some control over that. Anyway, the email the key to this email, and the reason I'm showing to you is it succinctly outlines key benefits. Again, those benefits being that time, the limited time of availability, and has the specifics in the subject line of when you need to book by, and what the benefit is to them. There's a savings. So you don't have to be too specific about the amount, but here you see once the person clicks into it, it quickly tells them that it's 25% off. Email marketing overall is very effective, and it's a way to stay connected with customers, whether it's offering discounts. Often I like to think of them as being as personal as we can. So if people have given us information, be sure to use that to reward them in some way. So birthdays are a great example. Also be careful with that too, because I always think about Starbucks, when they started their birthday free drink on us program, you had your entire birthday month, or I believe it was 30 days from the date of your birthday to use that that offer. And one year, I remember, out of the blue, I wasn't notified ahead of time, and they didn't taper it off saying, oh, well, now we're only offering you 2 weeks. No, we can only offer this for 2 weeks. We can only offer it for 1 week. We can only offer it for like a day or two, or the day before and after your birthday. But I went, I think, the day after my birthday, and they said, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, we can't honor this. And they might have even given me a free drink because they felt bad, because I probably looked kind of deflated. But it's not something I would make a fuss over, because as a marketer, I understand these things happen. You don't kill the messenger, of course. But think through, like, are you going to be able to afford to keep doing that? Is it, are you going to have to cut that at some point? And when you do cut a benefit, think it through. It's personal to people. It's going to their inbox. Try to think through what that would feel like for you as much as you can, because it doesn't mean you're always marketing something relatable, but you do try to be as personal as possible and considerate as possible, because we can signpost those things, right? It's sort of like, the why, or the way we drive, right? There's lots of signposting about speed limits changing and coming on and off freeways ending, going into more rural areas or more urban areas. Those kinds of things are really, really important to let people know as much as possible leading into some place, even with great navigation equipment in our vehicles. So you've got discounts, you've got those promotions of new products, new services, newsletters that could be, incredibly informational. You really want to build that ongoing relationship with your audience. And one thing I'll say too is, unless you're a big name brand, like the Amazons of the world, the Walmarts of the world, you can think of, any sort of, Fortune 500 brand. You really can't afford to have a no reply email address. Aside from the fact that it's just really difficult for people to get in touch with you, it can be frustrating for them to get a bounce back email if they're trying to get customer service taken care of. So routing through and thinking through, again, what's the utility of this, and what could it be in the future if someone's in a panic and they need to get to customer service? Having a way to route that through makes a lot of sense. So think it through, and try to allow that two-way relationship to happen, no matter how panicked the person might be, or off topic, off season, even it could be. Another type of digital marketing is, of course, website marketing, and it involves promoting a business or service through one or more websites. Even without direct sales, maintaining a strong online presence is vital. Your website is often the first point of contact with consumers. It's important that it provides seamless user experience across desktop and mobile devices, offering clear navigation and features, as well as fast load times. AI-driven recommendations also play a significant role in personalizing the shopping experience. And you want to be thinking, because most people that are making a purchase don't complete it on just one device. So you might start on your desktop, then head to your tablet, then the next day finally purchase on your mobile. So you want to be thinking that customer is making a journey. It's not that even that they might, we know statistically they're going to come back to you to consider purchasing. And so, especially if it's the sort of non-purchasing content, convince and convert type of content, you really want to make sure it's nice and deep so people want to come back, and that maybe that makes it shareable to colleagues. That's a good example in B2B. You might have a white paper or a webinar. Making it shareable would be maybe one of the things you want to think about in that environment. Your website is often, important to look at across devices. And luckily, there's lots of tools that let you, in an instant, see what your website looks like. In this lecture and in your book, you'll see a lot of mention of responsiveness on mobile devices. It's not just responsiveness. It's not really, that's a way we used to build out sites. So I think that word is not so as important as it used to be. But so with that caveat said, the kind of considerations I would be thinking about on desktop would be offering a robust experience with easily accessible elements like a chat bot for customer support or to make an appointment right there. Mobile devices, ensuring that the size is mobile friendly and responsive, adapting fluidly to various screen sizes. Other devices, tablets or wearables would be good examples, using responsive design to provide a consistent experience across all platforms. So how can your watch complement and still be a fulfilling experience in comparison to your phone or your desktop if you're going to have an app that is compatible with that device? People can have their push alerts show up on most of their wearable devices if they want to. So making sure you're thinking through, is there a real value to this is important. Customer value is key. These considerations are essential for delivering that seamless experience. And really at the heart of it all is user experience, or what we call UX. A successful website features intuitive navigation, clear calls to action, or CTAs, and quick load times. This helps users find what they need, increasing engagement and encouraging repeat visits. So, drilling down on websites, let's look at how recommendation engines have evolved. These algorithms have been a cornerstone of online sales since the late 90s, starting with the launch of Amazon's customers who bought this item also bought feature. That system used data on past purchases and browsing history to recommend products to customers. So there's some interesting distinctions between that feature back in the 90s and what you might see today. There's a lot more to it. So this is one of the legacy algorithms that is what we call a recommendation engine over on the left of your screen. And then the second type, so there's popularity based and then there's crowd based. Those are also considered a legacy recommendation provider, and they provide non-AI. Basically, what makes them legacy is they don't incorporate artificial intelligence or machine learning. So the difference between popularity based and crowd based: popularity based cover popular items within the same category. And those categories back in the day were really broad too. It could just be books, not even dividing between fiction and nonfiction. Seriously. But that, would be popular items within the same category. They include popular items, but do not allow for cross sales. So there's not like sort of the recommendations around a book cover or stationery or, that allows you to tag pages of a physical book, to mark or bookmark them or however, annotate whatever you might do. They also don't incorporate users' insights, so that review piece, and are not personalized to individual shoppers. So contrast that with crowd-based recommendations, again, another legacy type of recommendation engine or algorithm. They show similar items that other users have shown interest in. So they include popular items that do allow that cross-selling component. So they may have other products that are in that similar category. And they might include other users' insights as well. So they might have a review portion showing you kind of what is the crowd thinking about this particular product or service, but it's still not individually personalized down to the shopper themselves. It still doesn't really know anything about them individually that would convince or convert them. It's, again, sort of think of it as more general anonymized data about what goes with what, interests and that sort of thing. So we look at websites today using artificial intelligence. On the far right here, the example from Google Cloud recommendations is to help personalize consumers' website shopping experience. And those personalized recommendations are based on customer activity, including popular items. They allow for cross-selling. They incorporate other users' insights, again, reviews, but it can be even reviews more specific to that person based on what you know about them. So geographically, if geography is important on that product type, maybe letting people know, for example, that something is a local business is something that you might look for and think about. And they're personalized to that individual shopper. So basically, the legacy recommendation engines or algorithms did not have a personalization piece, whereas AI is continually learning. And the more information that it has about you and others like you, the more it's going to make all kinds of cross-selling offers attractive to you, maybe providing discount codes, things like that to incentivize you on a personal level. Search engine optimization and search engine marketing are incredibly important. They ensure that your website ranks high on search engine results pages by optimizing content for keywords and improving technical aspects of your website. That's SEO. SEM, search engine marketing, focuses on paid strategies like bidding on search terms to gain immediate visibility, what we call PPC, pay per click advertising. It's not the only type, but it's one. SEO is a critical component of digital marketing that focuses on enhancing a website's performance to ensure it effectively is utilized by search engines. It's indexed and ideally at the top of search engine results pages. The primary goal of SEO is to achieve a high rank on search engine results pages, what I just said, or SERPs, SERP. So that's the acronym for that, with lots of acronyms. This process involves various strategies, including keyword optimization, content creation, and technical adjustments, all aimed at improving visibility and driving organic traffic to your website. In contrast, search engine marketing encompasses a broader approach that not only includes SEO, because it should be a complement to your SEO, but paid advertising strategies. SEM involves bidding on specific keywords or key phrases, terms that consumers commonly use when conducting searches in search engines. By strategically selecting and bidding on these keywords, businesses can increase their visibility and reach potential customers through sponsored listings, complementing their organic SEO efforts. So you see here, there's a search result, Google search result for Nike. The Nike search result displays more than 1 billion search results based on that keyword, and a SERP may display different results for different regions or devices. Actually, really no search is repeatable. It's different for you all the time. It can be time of day, person to person. Sit with someone if you've never done this and look and see if their results are the same. Some people expect that results are the same, but they're often, almost always, they're not. And so that's something that marketers know. So on this graphic with the search engine results, you see 3 sections. The sections in red are SEM efforts, so paid marketing efforts, paid search marketing efforts, and the green is the organic result. Studies show that when your organization, company, product, service are top of all 3, you have the most potential to convert the quickest. So even though it might cost a lot to be in the first position of all of those, again, you may be able to convince and convert quicker leading to faster sales, maybe more impulse purchasing, and high dollar value. So now we have social media and community marketing. Social media platforms allow brands to advertise, promote, and engage directly with consumers. Community marketing builds deeper relationships by encouraging consumer engagement through blogs, forums, and other platforms that allow two-way communication. Social media marketing may include various activities such as advertising, promotion, sharing, branding, and otherwise connecting with consumers through social media. Community marketing may take place through social media, but also through other platforms. Again, blogs and forums, but also podcasts. It involves making a connection with consumers, promoting engagement with consumers, and building a community with consumers. You can see the examples here from Nike. You've got the Instagram Reels to help promote the drop of Sabrina ones in 2023, partnering with the basketball star Sabrina Ionescu. They also feature content from Sophia Smith of soccer fame. Nike's Instagram account has more than 300 million followers, more than that now, and is one of the most popular brands followed on Instagram and across social media. Mobile marketing. Mobile marketing is essential in today's world. It involves strategies that focus on reaching consumers through their mobile devices, such as through apps or mobile advertising. Platforms like Apple Search Ads help people promote their businesses to the right audience. So you can see there on the screen, Apple, promote your app where it matters most. So you need to have an app to be in this particular, to utilize this type of advertising, but it's not exclusively actually for apps alone. You can see mobile marketing strategies that include operating a mobile app and mobile app advertising, such as in-app advertising. So you could, let's say, partner with a company selling advertising within its app. Content sites, some of the largest news sites in the world, for example, will all have advertising that you've seen and are familiar with that can be included in their app. So those are the two types of in-app advertising or app advertising. Your own app within platforms like the Apple Store or Google Play to promote your app, get that downloaded, and hopefully see a return on your investment, as well as in-app advertising. So somebody else's app that you're advertising within, and you can see how Apple promotes its app services or app ad services. Then we have Metaverse marketing. The Metaverse represents a new frontier. It's not entirely new, but it's relatively new compared to the other types we've talked about here in digital marketing. And it's not limited, and we're not just talking about Zuckerberg's vision of the Metaverse, but also Apple's new headset and all the other devices, the wearable devices in particular, where brands can use virtual reality to create interactive 3D environments where consumers can engage with their products and services in entirely new ways, probably new to them. Think of the metaverse as a future version of the internet beyond the universe as we know it, using advanced virtual reality technologies to create new interactive 3D or 4D digital experiences. So really taking it off that web page of the two-dimensional. Some expect the metaverse will allow people to, or it is already allowing people to, create their own desired experiences, engage and interact virtually with others in complex digital environments, and rely heavily on virtual personas. I talked earlier about smart environment marketing. Smart devices and IoT, Internet of Things technologies, become more integrated into daily life every day. So smart environment marketing allows brands to deliver highly personalized and automated experiences that add value for consumers in their everyday environments. So thinking about driving without being hands-free. So you need a voice assistant in most cases to be able to do some basic things, your navigation, turning things up and down, having messages read to you, especially on those long drives, or using a scooter or whatever you might be using to get around. So smart environments are settings in which smart devices and technology enhance value for consumers through several possible digital services. So I think this is really important to think about because smart environments really can be anywhere. Again, as I use the example, you can be wearing a helmet and driving something like a motorcycle or a moped or a scooter, and or a car, a truck, and some other device, and you're almost in your own little environment on the go. So it doesn't have to be some static place like a house where you have your Internet of Things set up, like your smart thermostat and those types of things. It's not just limited to a static space. Over time, we will own and be surrounded by many more smart devices and environments within the Internet of Things IoT arena. And eventually people expect that we will be in a true Internet of Everything, IoE environment. Organizations and marketers will be looking to add value to consumers through new technologies. And often it's just making things easier and syncing things. But I think one thing to be thinking about is, are there potential harms that could be utilized by bad actors? So hackers, for example, are our devices secure? Those kinds of considerations are questions that consumers will have. And so thinking through, again, all of those pieces and having FAQs and other information proactively available to individuals to look at, even just going through your terms and conditions and privacy policy yourself to really understand what people are agreeing to that are your customers, can be incredibly helpful in giving them a much more meaningful experience. And again, signposting things. And speaking of signposting, I have a notation here. You'll find notations for this lesson within your lesson 1 module listed, so you can access those links. Smart environment marketing there's some examples listed in Exhibit 1-3 within your textbook, Technologies Used in Digital Marketing. And we'll run through some of this here. So digital marketing leverages advanced technologies like AI, 5G, virtual reality, augmented reality, and more to enhance customer or consumer experiences. And it really, again, it doesn't have to be a customer. It can be somebody who's donating to a nonprofit organization. These technologies offer endless possibilities for how brands can interact with their audience. I mean, think about that in an NGO setting, right? Drones delivering foods and services to people in need can take a lot of different forms. And the technology can be very different from organization to organization. But let's take a look at a few. So artificial intelligence and machine learning enables a computer to mimic intelligent human behavior. ML is a subset of AI that allows computers to learn. So that's how they get smarter. AI and ML chatbots are the most obvious application, I think, that most of us are familiar with and have used. AI and ML analytics might give us insights into how better or improve experiences using either existing things like chatbots or other technologies as they come to fruition. There's also the personalization piece that might be brought into technologies that you're using as well. 5th generation or 5G mobile network technology is something that permits activities to take place more reliably and at a greater speed. So if you think about home digital marketing services that 5G might be able to help with, things like Siri, Alexa, or Google Assistant prompts coming back to you quicker. And again, that learning element, making some of the responses, storing more information about you so that the responses come quicker because of that as well. And the storage of what you respond and what your preferences might be going back and being stored in the cloud or wherever that is stored for machine learning. Virtual reality or VR helps to create simulated environments that incorporate sensory stimuli and feel real. So if you think about it, it's like a virtual journey through a grocery shopping experience, like putting things in your cart. in future, it may not be a cart, but or a basket, but virtual reality can help with that sense of connecting more deeply. Even further, we go to augmented reality or AR. This allows for the additions of words or images on top of real world objects and environments. So one example might be Sephora's AR that lets consumers try on makeup through AR within their app. You see similar technologies on Amazon, on Walmart, see this in your space type of thing. I think another application of augmented reality you may have experienced, but I think, will become more common is things like scanning a QR code on a menu at a restaurant and seeing what that dish looks like, the actual size of it, and, actually seeing the price and all of that, right, all with the meal, but actually being able to see the sizing of it. What is, if it's a piece of fish, how big is that piece of fish, whatever it may be. So using augmented reality in that context to really show people and help gauge the consumer expectation around what a product is going to be. Mixed reality brings together these elements and allows real and digital objects to interact with each other on a real-time basis. So it'd be things like holographic digital marketing, such as a hologram of an influencer sent to consumers. I love applications of this. I worked on one in 2020 for the Smithsonian Aerospace Museum, where we worked, to have astronauts who have recorded information about different exhibits able to put information around what they're saying, make it more engaging, so people could use headsets or not as they were going through the museum. Or that was the idea that we had identified, to enrich their experience and make it a real destination. And also as a way to potentially export some of the things that are available in those Smithsonian libraries and make them available and accessible to maybe school children and others who might not have the chance to go to Washington, D.C. to visit in person. So we can think about that, again, that real world potential social benefit as well. Extended reality, or XR, covers the reality-based immersive technologies, VR, AR, and MR, and perhaps those to come. And you can see the realities described above kind of coming together to, maybe a hologram of yourself with a new hairdo and lipstick and makeup in an environment that you expect to be seen in, so you know what the lighting looks like. I mean, it just keeps compounding and getting richer and richer and more detailed. There are references, sources for this information, again, in my notes to the slides, as well as in your lesson citations portion of the module for lesson 1. So in summary, lecture 1-2, website marketing, search engine optimization, and search engine marketing, SEO and SEM, email marketing, social media and community marketing, and mobile, metaverse, smart environment marketing. All marketing that you want to think of as types to consider as you move through this course. And also think about maybe things that maybe aren't here, or how you might categorize something that you never thought about before. Like, we didn't talk about SMS messaging, which is I would consider part of mobile marketing. It's not just about apps and push alerts within those apps, or the advertising within apps or app stores. So there's things that we don't have here, and hopefully you'll see those covered in the textbook. Make sure that you're able to understand and take in all of these concepts. Rewatch this lecture if you find it helpful. Deeper dives into your book, even if the reading isn't assigned, may be helpful for you to understand these concepts and for them to come to life for you. But make sure you take the time to understand them thoroughly before moving on to the next lesson.